But if he lets that third expansion up, and if he lets Much rebuild his forces, he's going to regret it. It looks like he can actually cancel that evolution chamber. He forgot to mariner some troops over there first. So yeah, he does have the Queen's Hive down, so yeah, going for, or I'm sorry, the Queen's, he's got the Queen thing, nest, I don't know, he's got it down, and it looks like Much now going to go up and doing actually a lot with that one Dark Templar, managed to take out one Lurker, sneak by there, and that's surprising considering how many Overlords out in the field. Now that that Dark Templar doesn't stand a chance getting overwhelmed. But again, I think if Hyun just decided to push right into Much right now, I'm not sure if he'd have a large enough unit count to really fight him back. Just produce a ton of hive, but it looks like he's just going to go into late game. He's already got that hive up. He's got a huge tech advantage, and again, as you can see, Much now starting to get into production. So now Hyun's going to have a harder time taking him down because his production is now caught up. Looks like he's going to scout that 6 o'clock. Looks like the Spore Colony there, so you're not going to see Dark Templar there. So Hyun just going to seal that in and use that as kind of just going to rely on that, that he's not going to have to worry about that expansion. But robotics facility up, so we might see drop, and my guess is that's mostly for observers at the moment. Looks like 2 Overlords coming up for a drop, and I'm not sure that that's going to be enough. Much going to the bottom right-hand corner, it looks like, going to try to secure another expansion for himself. He knows he's economically behind. He knows he's been behind in production. Catching an Overlord out in the middle of the field, going to be able to take it down. Probably has units inside, and it looks like Hyun not able to dish it to drop it, and so a little bit putting down a couple more hatcheries, has a Nidus Canal down, and so and let's see if he's gonna. It looks just putting Nidus Canals for now. I want to see Ultra Slayer. That looks like there we go, Defiler Mound. So gonna go Defiler, and I'm surprised he's going Defiler instead of Ultralisk, because honestly, we're probably gonna go Dark Swarm Lurker, but with Zealots, with Dark Templar, with Archons. All things that do really well under that Dark Swarm. And it looks like an attack coming down to the 6 o'clock position, Much leaving himself hugely vulnerable here. That's all the units he has, really. I guess he was just going to rely on his reinforcements here. And this is kind of Jaedong-esque play, where Jaedong was behind. Beautiful Psystorms from Much, and just using the Dragoons to block the rest. So basically, being kind of a suicidal attack and just going to force, and instead of using the Nidus Canal, actually now the Zerglings coming through the Nidus Canal, Much being pushed back. Beautiful Psystorms from Much, doing exactly what he needs to do. Loses the Archon, but took down a lot of forces, and more than that, managed to keep Hyun on the defensive. Managed to get another expansion up in that attack, and really psychologically put Hyun in the back. And this really, I'll say it one more time. It looks like Hyun has level 1 Carapace at the moment, so not falling behind as far as upgrades go. But this reminds me a lot of Jaedong versus Bisu, except in reverse. Here we see the Zerg player actually who had the early lead now falling behind psychologically. Now not doing what he needs to do to kind of win the game. Now just kind of boxing in. Really, Protoss versus Zerg, you need to be the Zerg player needs to be the aggressor. If you're going to win the game, it's in your hands to be the aggressor and win it, to get something done. And again, Much coming at the 6th location, this time with a much larger force, going to try to break it open. I don't think he's going to be successful in doing so. First of all, that choke is really well sealed. Second of all, actually managed to take out the second Sun Kali, so he is going to break in. I take it back. Another beautiful Psystorm. Zerglings coming in from behind. Lurker looks like it had, I think level 2 Carapace just finished, so the Psystorms aren't going to be one-shot. Or I'm sorry, level 1 Carapace is finished, so they're not going to be one-shot Psystorms anymore. But they are going to leave those Lurkers extremely vulnerable, extremely weak. Let's see if he manages to get any of the drone kills. Going after the gas specifically, which he really needs to do, but now more reinforcements coming in from the hive. I'm sorry, through the Nidus Canal, and those Dragoons going to have to be in full retreat. But Much doing exactly what he needs to do, keeping Hyun back while he gets another expansion up, and he's going to be able to equalize this in production not too long, because you saw those gateways that were down in the back of his base. Hyun, in the meantime, realizes the expansion's up in the bottom right-hand corner, and we'll see if he decides to go on the offensive in a minute here. Really, I think he should just skip the bottom right-hand corner. Now has the Ultralisk Cavern up. I think it would be much more effective with him if he just sacrifices the 6 o'clock expansion and gets a large drop onto Much's main and just takes out the production there. I think that it looks like he's going to expand one more time in the upper left-hand base. I know there's a couple cannons down there, and Corsairs being produced now, and we'll see if he has any. It doesn't look like Hyun has any anti-air down, unfortunately, to deal with that. And some Zerglings getting caught out in the open, and Hyun going to drop. Wow, almost going to pull those Storm going off a little bit with the Zealots, a little over the Lurkers, but it looks like the Lurkers were fairly damaged. And yeah, those Lurkers getting absolutely annihilated there. A lot of units getting caught out in the open here, including a couple drones here, and Much actually doing a very good job. It looks like, wow, the Defiler's getting annihilated there before they can even drop Dark Swarm or anything. So total unit miscue there on Much's part. I guess he was going to try to defend something upper left-hand corner, and Hyun, or I'm sorry, and Hyun's part, and Hyun totally throwing this game away. He was in an extremely, he was in the perfect position to win this in a lot of circumstances, but now I feel like Much has the advantage. He's taken the momentum in this game, and even though I think he's basically has everything he needs to do win it, he just needs maybe to get one more expansion, maybe take one of Hyun's expansions down. As long as he takes it up in the upper line hand, and he has Corsairs out, and you can see no anti-air up, no Corsairs that I've seen up to stop those Corsairs from doing anything. We'll see if Dark Templar come out now. And yeah, this is just turning into an absolutely wild game. Much being very impressive here. A lot of units again out in the open. Looks like a couple Scourges there in the forefront. I want to see what the upgrades are for Much. And yeah, producing out of 4 bases. He's got a large unit. Yeah, going to go over that upper left-hand corner. And Much just gathering his forces. And really, he needs. I think if he's going to stop this attack, he needs to start pushing now. He did now spot it out, so now going to start pushing down. Actually turning around, deciding to not go for it. Much going to. Yeah, that's not going to be up in time. I'm sorry, buddy. Going to push up in there, but it looks like Much can decide to pull back because realizing his front door is wide open. Yeah, actually no, he's going to dedicate to this attack. He's not going to go on the defensive. He's just going to lose that pylon. Not going to worry about losing that pylon. I think he's worried about his main or maybe the bottom right hand corner expansion. The unit's flooding in there now, so we're going to see a base exchange maybe here. I'm not sure, but it looks like Zealots in a position actually to defend that bottom right hand corner. So the Zealots plus those cannons might be, and a lot of Templar in route. So some Psystorm, a Psystorm plus the Zealots. Oh wow! Let's see if those Templar get down in time. He can save that expansion, and a 2-pronged attack from Much, and it looks like Hyun pulling back, and they're going to get Psystorm to death. Going around to that natural expansion, which is mineral only, but still, Darkstorm going down, but that really there's a ton of melee units in there, so not going to do a lot, and plus a lot of Psystorm in the area. Much just pulling back to get a little bit of a view so he can see what he's Psystorming, and nothing else. And wow, looks like he's probably well. First of all, I think he already Psystormed that area, so I think he already took out all of the drones at that location. So stymieing Hyun's production at this point, and Hyun, as you can see, and that's a terrible choke right there. Much took the perfect